Guys, come on, you need to move out the way.
We're not going to move.
No, we don't.
You haven't validated the warrant.
That's not for us to do.
Alright then, so as you've seen from the little clip there, this is police getting involved in a civil matter again without doing their checks, because it's not for them to do, but yet they'll get involved in a civil matter. So as you've seen, they are getting involved in a civil matter, and this female constable is very unhappy that she now has to stand out in the rain, which is you're going to see in this video. I am going to interrupt the video maybe twice, maybe 3 times this video, but I want to play it out as much as I possibly can within YouTube policies so I don't get in trouble. But let's just get straight into it.
Can you ring Swansea and verify it then? You ring Swansea and verify it.
So here we go.
Nothing to, wait, 1 minute, it's nothing to do with you. You're telling him to break into our property. Say it. Say it on the front of the camera. You're telling him to break into our property. Tell him.
It's not his job.
It's not his job. He hasn't got a valid warrant. Get the guys down here. Get everyone down here. You are corrupt. He hasn't got a valid warrant, and you know you haven't. I rang Swansea in front of him. He watched me ring them. How dare you?
Verify the warrant.
Verify the warrant. You ring Swansea in front of us. Go on. Why not? It's not your job to tell him to break in. Who do you think you're telling to break in? I'm going to sue the fuck out of you two.
Carry on swearing, you'll be liable for
Alright.
Okay then, so this is the first interruption because he has threatened her with arrest for swearing. So it's going to be a Section 5 Public Orders Act of 1986, which is harassment, alarm or distress. A person is guilty of an offence if he uses keywords threatening or abusive words or behaviour, or disorderly behaviour, or displays any written signs or visual representation which is threatening or abusive within the hearing or sight of a person likely to be caused harassment, alarm or distress, thereby an offence has been committed. I don't need to read this bit, but keywords here, threatening and abusive. The word fuck within itself is not threatening or abusive. So you can say that as long as you want. The thing which you did say is, I'm going to sue. That within itself could be threatening, but it's probably a promise, so it's not a threat at all. It's a promise. So people, don't get confused. When they threaten you with a Section 5, keywords in a Section 5 is threatening and abusive. If you are threatening or abusive within, then you can't be done for a Section 5. And if you are done for a Section 5 for swearing, if it's not threatening and abusive, sue them, because it's an unlawful arrest. Police need to educate themselves. They get a little book what says you can use this section for swearing, this section for this section for that, but it doesn't actually tell them what the section is, or the key words threatening or abusive. Well, it does, but they ignore that. They just say swearing, oh, we can do it to anybody. So just remember, you can swear in public as long as you are not threatening or abusive. So let's continue.
Just for reference, these police officers are allowing Churchill Recovery Solutions, everybody, to break into our property without a valid warrant. We've rang Swansea Court in front of this corrupt guy. They cannot validate the warrant. It's got no reference, no stamp, no signature. And these two corrupt cops have now turned up and basically said, we're not taking sides, break in. What the heck? I think that's taking a side.
Not taking a side.
You better get him gone. Okay. Or there's going to be big trouble here. You better get lost as well. Get out. No, he's not coming in.
Guys, come on.
I am not
out the way. Yes, you are. Because you're preventing them from doing the job. Guys, come on. Out of the way, please.
We are not disturbing the peace.
Jay, ring the police. Ring more police. These two are corrupt.
I'm not disturbing the peace.
Come on,
Bring the police.
Our property.
Guys, come on, let's get out of the way.
We're not getting out of the way.
I am not.
You are acting corruptly. This is not acceptable. No, get him gone and get lost.
I'm not disturbing the police.
That's not how it works,
I am peacefully
unfortunately.
Jay, ring the police.
protesting and protecting my property.
Right, come on, guys, out of the way.
We're not going to move. We're not going to move.
We are
Well,
not
you need to
We're not
we are
going to
not
move.
disturbing the peace.
You are enforcing a warrant that can't be validated.
We are not
Do what you need. Yeah, do your jobs.
We are not disturbing the peace.
Jazz, I'm videoing. Get some guys
We are
here.
not disturbing the peace.
Guys, come on, you need
No,
to move out
no,
of
we
the
We're
way.
not going to move.
No, we don't.
You haven't validated the warrant.
Right to be here.
That's not for
Our
us
land,
to
our
do.
property.
We've explained
Yeah, well, you can't help people break into our property.
Screaming in my
How
face.
dare you?
They are here
Calm
to
down,
execute
calm
a
down.
warrant.
They haven't got a warrant.
They've got-
They haven't got a warrant. Get out. No, no.
Showed
Piece
it
of
you.
paper. We want to verify it. Piece of paper, that's all it is. We want to verify it. That's all it is.
Jay,
You can't
get all
verify
the
it.
guys out.
You can't verify it.
Jamie, everyone, get them all. We're not letting you enforce an illegal warrant. No way.
Not illegal.
No way. Yes, it is. You haven't validated it. Ring Swansea in front of me and validate it.
Nothing to do with
But you're going to tell him to break in.
What are you doing
To
then?
prevent a breach of peace.
You're breaching the
Calm
peace.
down, calm down, calm
No, correct me if I'm wrong, but this ginger nut here just turned around. Yes, I am going to insult him because I don't care. When they want to step out of the course of their job like they have done now, I will be insulting. This little ginger nut and this idiot with more foundation than what comes in a bottle on a face has come over and said, we're here to prevent the breach of the peace. But yet, if that's what you're doing, why are you getting involved? You can't say you didn't get involved. You've asked them to move and you've put yourself in that situation. You should have stayed back and just observed. And then when a breach is occurred, then step in. The breach of the peace has been occurred because of you two dipsy twats are here getting involved in something where you shouldn't be getting involved. You should allow these people to block the door, and then if these can't enter, they're not allowed to use any force whatsoever to move anybody out of the way. That's why they phoned you in the first place, to come to get you dipsy twats to do their hard work for them. So no, you're not just there to prevent a breach of the peace. That's what you say. You're there just to prevent a breach of the peace, when really, if that's what you was there for, you would have just stood back and observed. But you didn't. You've got yourself involved in the situation by putting yourself right into the door, trying to get these people to move. That's not there to prevent a breach of the peace at all. The breach of the peace is there because of you and the way you are acting. That's just my opinion. Now, if I'm wrong, let us know in the comments why I'm wrong.
We are not breaching the peace. We have to outside our property.
Yeah, you
on
are,
our
because
land.
you're stopping them from doing that.
They haven't got a
They haven't
warrant.
got a warrant.
They have got
You haven't got a
one.
They haven't got a
You can't
warrant.
confirm it. You can't confirm it.
Yes, you
We
can.
just
You
can't, not
can't.
getting
No, it's a piece of
nowhere.
paper. It's a piece of paper.
It hasn't got a reference. It doesn't check out.
You can't confirm it.
Alright, so I've interrupted pretty soon straight after, but she said they are breaching the peace because they're not allowing this person to get on with his job. Well, I've gone on to the Metropolitan Police. This is Welsh. I don't know why. Probably because I'm right next to Wales, but this is in Welsh. Don't understand it. But this is a Freedom of Information request on somebody requesting what a breach of the peace actually is. So let's go to the breach of the peace and what the breach of the peace is. I'm just going to highlight it up to here.
Breach of the peace gives police powers to intervene and or arrest when an individual causes harm or appears likely to do any of the following. Cause harm to a person. Cause harm to that person's property in the person's presence. Put that person in fear of such harm being done through an assault, a fray, a riot, unlawful assembly, or other disturbance. Police officers may take reasonable action, including arrest, to stop a breach of the peace or to prevent one that the police officer reasonably anticipates will occur imminently. Reasonable action may also be taken where a breach of the peace has been committed and where it is reasonably believed that a recurrence of the breach is threatened.
Okay then, so from these here, is that person going to be caused harm? No. Is that person going to cause property harm to their property in their presence? The only thing I'm getting here is what the bailiffs are doing to these. because they're going to cause harm to their property in their presence, which is a breach of the peace, and affray, assault, a riot, unlawful assembly, and other disturbances. Why other disturbances? What is other disturbances? Why have they put other disturbances? Why not list a bunch of things? Because here, what they've put here is harassment to cause harm or appear likely to do any of the following, but the following is all about harm apart from other disturbances. So what is other disturbances? This is a freedom of information request. This is a crap I get all the time, where they're very vague, and then even though you've asked for very specific stuff, they are very vague with what they're saying because they don't know themselves. So if you want to read the rest, pause it, read the rest. But let's get back into the video.
Validate it. Go on then. We'll let him in and take a picture of the meter. Ring up Swansea.
To validate, we've explained that to you, haven't we?
So basically, you're just here as crooked cops to enforce any old piece of shit paper. Shall I go write a paper saying that you lot can never set foot on these premises? Will you enforce that if I say it's from Doncaster Magistrates? Will you?
You're being a bit childish.
No, you're being childish. How dare you?
We want that warrant verified. That's all we want.
Ring up Swansea and verify the warrant. Get a sergeant here. Ring the police. We need a sergeant.
Yeah, you're just wasting more time with
You're wasting our time.
Yeah,
you're not getting in here, mate. I'll tell you that now. No way. You have not got a valid warrant, and you are opening yourselves up for a massive lawsuit. We just told him he can come in and take a picture of the meter, mate. We told him he could. He said no. He wants the cops. He's trying to cause trouble. Can you see that? We literally said, come in, move the shelf, take a picture. He goes, no, wait for the police.
Let him in then.
No, now we won't. Now we won't let him in because now you two have come and forced our hand. Now we won't. Yeah, by doing what you did. You're enforcing an illegal warrant that Swansea won't check out.
Go on the radio and confirm that warrant is legit. That's all.
The warrant is nothing to do with us.
But you're telling him to break
To do his
in.
job, basically.
He's not.
So his job is to break in.
You can't
Yeah, if you won't let him in, yeah.
So his job is to break in. PC 215 says without a valid warrant, it's okay for Churchill Recovery Solutions to break into our property. Thank you, PC 215. What are you saying? Are you saying the same thing? Without a valid warrant, the police, Doncaster police, are saying it's okay for Churchill Recovery Solutions to break into our property without a valid warrant.
Without a valid warrant.
We have been to Swansea Magistrates Court and rang them. They cannot validate the warrant. The warrant has no reference number, no court reference, nothing.
Come over.
Trying to break in for a fake warrant. But I rang.
Like they did at Wire.
Yeah.
Using the Section 17.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then attacking it with CS spray. And then all putting them together.
Yep. They're wankers. He has got those warrants, ranks one magistrates, and they can't corroborate the warrant. Yeah? So these two basically go extra, and we're not in big size. You can break in.
Oh, I'll sit here and feel absolutely fundamental.
Yeah. Just prove the warrant's real, and you can come in.
They even got warrant.
They've got a piece of paper, but I rang up Magistrates Court, and they basically said they can't corroborate it's a real warrant. I have to email them. Do you know, you probably don't know. Just corroborate the warrant's real, and you can come in. Mate, just corroborate the warrant's real, you can come in. We're not stopping you coming in. You can come in. Just show us the warrant's real. Just show us that the warrant's real. That's all.
We are not disturbing the peace.
Bye, baby. Have fun.
You two there who are recording this, we are not disturbing the peace. We're not breaking no laws, as you can see. We're stood outside our property, outside our premises.
So, just to recap, there's no valid warrant. There's just a piece of paper with a name and address on it. And I rang up Swansea Magistrates where they said they got the warrant. And the warrant doesn't check out. Swansea Magistrates said I have to email them, which basically says to me that these debt collection agencies use certain courts and they pay those courts to corroborate information. That's why they needed an email, so they could then come back and say, yes, we have a warrant in that name. This is the system they use. So there's no signature, stamp, seal on this warrant, and it doesn't check out. And it should have a reference. All court warrants should have references, which means the courts issued them. So basically, this third-party debt collector, Churchill Recovery, they basically just employ courts, and they do everything's corrupt that they do. We don't even know who they are. We asked them for proof of this debt, and they couldn't even provide that. We don't know who the hell they are. This is crazy. Just validate the warrant. Ring Swansea yourselves. Once you do that, we're good to go. Good to go.
What you're
Good to go.
doing is legal and correct.
Yeah,
all we're
that's
asking.
all. Yeah.
We have the right to defend our property, and all we have the right. We want.
He's explained he's got a copy of the warrant, hasn't he?
Yes. So
it's
we
been
that's
emailed
what
to
they do. We've emailed Swansea. When they respond back to us and verify it, then we'll let you in.
Well, they won't verify it over the phone because there's no reference, there's nothing on it.
How can we get aboard for that?
Did I show you the act? I
I
showed you the act that said there should be a signature on that warrant.
He's just explained that they no longer
So
let you
he's above
allow
the
them
law.
in.
So he's above the law.
They don't allow people in court to have things signed since COVID.
That's game now.
That's
It's
rubbish.
open.
That's
Court
rubbish,
open.
love. That's rubbish. No, I've never seen a warrant in 20 years with a signature on it. They're all fake.
Okay, so there's a few red flags for me right there. She keeps saying that on that warrant they have got, there's no reference number. Now, every single document you normally get has some sort of reference number, so it can be traced back to what it is you are getting. Now, if you look at any sort of court document, they all have a reference number. So the fact that I ain't got a reference number means to me that it's probably a fake warrant. No reference number means you can't clarify it's a real warrant by ringing up and using a reference number to figure out. Plus, there's a few more things which is going to be said. Now, if it's one for money, that said person must be given the ability to go to court and debate whether it's a legitimate thing. That person must fail to pay the amount or fail. Basically, you must get a before it goes to there, get a warrant. If it's a debt one, you're supposed to be able to go to court and say if the debt is valid or it's not valid. Defend yourself, basically, before the warrant is issued. This doesn't seem to have happened because clearly you'll understand in a minute. But another thing, like I say, most things have a reference number. Warrants from the police have a reference number. All these types of different things have reference numbers. You can look at the Hair Magistrates Tribunal Centre document XC3 something, which actually lies out everything you need to do for that. Oh crap, what have I done? Yeah, well, it lies out everything you need for that. But like I said, this to me, it's just the warrant is obviously dodgy. No reference numbers. The police don't want to clarify the warrant because it's not their job apparently, but yet they want to get involved. Maybe do the easy thing, make sure it's a real warrant before telling them to break in. And the fact that they said they don't do wet ink signatures anymore because of COVID. We all know that's nonsense because before COVID we were seeing the same type of stuff where there was no wet signature, no court stamps, nothing to say that it was a legitimate warrant, but the police were still helping enforce. That's another thing. If there's no court stamp to say it was approved by a court or anything like that, then it should be called into question. Right, I'm going to stop ranting and let's just get back into the last bit of the video.
We need Swansea to verify by email.
We never even got a summons. We never even got a summons, mate. Come on.
You didn't get a chance to go to court. How's that fair? How's that work?
You can't just, this is, you know what they are? They're third-party debt collectors who buy debts for pennies on the pound. And now he wants to recoup it.
You can't get involved.
For us to get involved in.
I know it isn't. Guys, thank you.
You allow them.
Thank you guys for coming, but you really should stay out of this matter. It's civil. And you know it is. And you know it is.
Let's run the verify the warrant to us by email. We've emailed them.
Check emails then.
Yeah, I've checked them. I keep checking them every 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Once they verify it.
I've also sent them a second email now saying that you're still here, claiming that this warrant is valid. Please, please come back to us. Tell us when it was issued, what date, what judge or clerk or magistrate signed it. Yeah, but I need them to validate it, mate. You can tell me all sorts, but the court has to validate it.
We know now.
Before Mrs. A. Moriarty.
Yeah, I told them all this. I sent that warrant to Swansea magistrates. Now we're just waiting. But the fact that they wouldn't validate it over the phone is a big eye-opener. You can't allow him to break into premises without a valid warrant. He hasn't. He hasn't.
Because you're not satisfied with it doesn't mean
And we have that right though.
We just rang the court up, love.
Right.
Yeah, and they wouldn't speak to you, would they?
They said we have to email
So
them.
how does that work?
There's
then?
no reference number.
How does that work in this
There's
country?
no reference number.
We've got rights, haven't we?
Every
Have
other
we got
warrant I
rights?
ring the court for, they validate it on
The
the
job you're
phone.
doing
What's
is
your
warrant-
reference?
is
Blah,
warrant
blah, 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 blah. Yes, a warrant was
Everything.
issued. Are you
Everything
joking?
by reference.
Are you joking?
I'm not joking, no.
You look like you're joking.
No, I don't.
You
know.
joker.
Everything has a
Right,
reference.
okay, you're going to stop to insults now.
That's not. It's joking. A joker. Joking.
No, just
That's not an insult. It's fucking freezing.
Oh,
Could
we
have
know
brought me a
that.
coat out, mate. That's a bit little on you, isn't it? Look, guys, we just
Guys, can they not just come in and have a look at these meters?
Yes, we had told them they could, but now they've rang the police. Now they're causing us grief and bother. Now they can't. I said to them there. Do you want me to show you the video saying, come in,
Causing us
please?
all grief and bother.
I know, guys, but I said to him a minute ago, come in, take your picture. He goes, no, we're going to wait for the police. Do you want to see the video?
Can we just let him take a picture of it?
No, you guys leave and we'll let him take a picture of it.
I know, because we need to be here, don't we?
No, you don't. It's a civil matter.
You're not involved, you said. It's a
We're
civil
not
matter.
coming inside. We just need to make sure that they get
Is that
everything.
illegal?
To breach of peace.
Which is not.
You're breaching the peace.
We're not reaching the
Yeah, you are. They're breaching the peace with no valid paperwork.
Oh, shouting here. You
And I have to
you
shout.
don't. You don't.
I've got mental health difficulties, mate. I go from here to here. I'm just letting you have a heads up.
In this situation, you're not helping.
Alright then, so that's where this situation ends. Unfortunately, there's no follow-ups. I don't know what happened after this. Hopefully, I'm assuming the police told them we're not going to get involved, we're going to step back, and you try and get in. If not, continue to the next job. Hopefully that's what they told them, and didn't do what we've seen over and over again, where the police forcefully remove these people so they can break entry into it. I wanted to let most of this video play through because there's not really much to add in this video. I've added a bit into the videos, the bits that I thought was necessary, and I didn't think I needed to add more. I did interrupt within 22 seconds at a certain point, but I had to. This, for me, is just what our police are doing. We see it all the time. Bannerman is doing brilliant at showing exactly what the police are doing, and the people standing together against this unlawful seizures of their property and breaking into their property, and the police trying to assist. Bannerman's doing a brilliant job at highlighting all this and standing there with the people and stopping the police from being able to do that, because power to the people. The more people that are there, the less likely the police are going to get involved, because they know they can't. They are outnumbered and there's nothing they can do. So, yeah, this case for me, the police failed straight away. They got involved in a civil matter when they shouldn't. And then there was threatening to arrest for Section 5 and arrest to prevent a breach of the peace and all this sort of stuff. Absolute nonsense. I am going to stop ranting now. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction. As always, like the video, it does open YouTube's algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.